October 27th, 2021 business meeting to order. Could you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If we could have the reading of the mission and vision statements.
The mission statement: Richmond Community Schools guide students on pathways of learning to a future of limitless possibilities.
The vision statement: Richmond Community Schools, a community nurturing mind, body, and spirit to prepare students for lives of choice, purpose, and service.
Thank you. Moving on to item 2, consent items. Dr. Wright.
Board President, trustees, I come before you to ask for consent. Ask for approval of consent items 2.1, 2.2, 3, 4, and 2.05, as well as the Human Resources Addendum as presented.
Thank you. I'd be happy to entertain a motion.
So moved. Go ahead, Aaron.
I move to approve the consent items with the addendum as presented.
Motion by Aaron Stevens.
I'll second.
Second by Nicole Stoltz. With Mr. Walton virtual, I will call the roll. Please say aye for affirmative or nay for negative. Mr. Slifer.
Aye.
Mrs. Brunton.
Aye.
Mr. Stevens.
Aye.
Mrs. Stoltz.
Aye.
Mr. Walton. Mr. Walton, can you hear us?
He's on mute.
He says aye.
Do we have to hear him?
I think that was a thumbs up.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Chair says it is.
Acceptable. Mr. Weber, aye.
Definite affirmation.
Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to action items. Dr. Wright.
Board President, trustees, I come before you presenting, this is Karen Scout, our CFO, for action items 3.1 through 3.5, I'm sorry, 3.1 through 3.4. And I'm going to ask that Mrs. Scout simply stay in form to present.
Okay, good evening. So tonight we have a number of donations before you under action item 4.01. We have received donations for Civic Hall, water bottles for CYS, water bottles at various other buildings, new flags out at a number of our school buildings. The boys basketball team at the high school has received a number of donations. We did receive a donation for our Title I Mathapalooza event, as well as from the bowling club received a donation. We received donations for the Student Body School Spirit campaign, so this is something new and kind of exciting over at the high school. Vail Elementary received a donation for snacks for their students, and Fairview received a donation for a sponsorship just for students in need. We also received a donation from Crocs. They have generously provided over 10,000 student masks to the corporation. So those have been distributed out to buildings and will be out for student use. And those donations total $93,635. It's my recommendation that the board approve these donations as presented, and a big thank you to everyone.
And Karen, you said that the masks donated were reusable also.
They
right?
are, yes,
So
they're cloth
that's
masks,
great.
so it's really nice.
Yeah.
They can be found at, I think, for sale on their website and in their stores, so it's kind of, students will probably see them out and about if they go shopping, so it's kind of
Thank you.
fun,
I'd
yeah.
be happy to entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Jeff Slifer,
Second.
second by Kristen Brunton. Any questions or additional comments?
Just wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, what's is Crocs doing that with all schools,
They're
or?
doing it with a few public schools. So they just identified public schools and called around and asked if anybody needed the donations. And they got a hold of Mrs. Hazelbaker, and she said, of course, we can use them. So they were generous enough to bring them.
Fantastic. Any other questions or comments? Once again, thank the community. I'll call the roll. Aye for affirmative, nay for negative. Jeff Slifer,
Aye.
Kristen Brunton,
Aye.
Aaron Stevens,
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz,
Aye.
Brad Walton. Brad Walton. Give him a moment.
He was even here briefly.
You frozen?
No, his eyes are blinking. Can you tell him just to give the thumbs up?
I don't know who you can see.
His microphone's off.
There he is. Brad Walton, on the donations motion. Are you a yay or nay? He's still muted.
He's reading my message that I just sent him
Yeah.
out now.
The guy on vacation, he looks awful mad.
All right, well, we will just not have a vote.
Treat that as an abstention.
Yes. John Weber, aye. Motion passes.
He just put up.
Oh, he gave you a thumbs up.
Okay, motion,
He read the,
Brad Walton, aye. Motion passes 6-0.
Okay.
Mrs. Scalf.
All right. Our next action item is a request for permission to advertise for HVAC upgrades and replacements at Vail, Westview, and Charles. The administration is requesting permission from the Richmond Community Schools Board of Trustees to publish the required notice to bidders for the HVAC upgrades replacements at Vail, Westview, and Charles. If approved, this notice will be published on Friday, October 29th, 2021, and again on Friday, November 5th, 2021. The bid opening will be held on November 30th, 2021 at 2 p.m., and a recommendation will possibly be made at the December 8th, 2021 board meeting. Tonight, it's my recommendation that the Board of School Trustees approves the request to advertise the notice to bidders for the HVAC upgrades or replacements at Vail, Westview, and Charles.
I'll make the motion that we approve the advertising.
Thank you. Motion by Jeff Slifer,
Second.
second by Aaron Stevens. Any questions or comments? I will call the roll. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Jeff Slifer,
Aye.
Kristen Brunton,
Aye.
Aaron Stevens,
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz,
Aye.
Brad Walton, he's gone.
yeah, he'll more likely have to abstain on this. There's some technical difficulties.
Okay. John Weber, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 3.03.
Okay.
Mrs. Scout.
Tonight, the bids for the RHS mechanical the bids for the RHS mechanical modernization project were received and opened on Friday, October 8th, 2021. The notice to bidders was published in the Palladium item on August 27th and September 23rd, 2021, and proof of publication and all bid documents are on file in the business office. The bid report is attached for your information. It's recommended that the bid is awarded to Carroll Electric, Inc. with a base bid of $5,950,000. The total bid, including all alternates listed below, is $6,880,448. The bid does not include contingency funds, which will be included in the project if awarded. It's my recommendation that the RHS mechanical modernization bid be awarded to Carroll Electric, Inc. with all alternates as it's been presented.
Thank you. Entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Jeff Slifer,
I'll second.
second by Nicole Stoltz. Any questions or comments?
Brad, can you hear us?
It's a shame that we.
Yes.
Okay.
If you guys just speak into your microphone, it's kind of tough to hear, so.
It's a shame that we extended the bid so we can get the additional bidders, but the good news is it still came in under budget, so.
Right.
That is good news. Any additional questions or comments?
And
All right,
I will just note
Oh.
that the bonds were sold this week, and we got an interest rate of 1.61%, so this is extremely good. The funds, we will close on November the 16th, so then we'll be ready to finish that up.
Is it 1.61?
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, signify by saying nay. Jeff Slifer,
Aye.
Kristen Brenton,
Aye.
Aaron Stevens,
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz,
Aye.
Brad Walton. Aye. John Weber, aye. Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to 3.04, Mrs. Scout.
Okay, the following change orders were received and are ready for your approval. There was a Chomel & Sons Inc. change order on the RHS Building Trades Classroom re-roof. This is not a cost adjustment, it is just a change to the construction period and schedule for completion. This is due to materials not being available during the normal scope of time of the original project. The next change order is Morelli General Contractor, Inc., the RHS High School Counselor's Office renovation. There was a slight change of $1,028.74. And then the last change order is with Arcom Builders for the RHS second and third floor renovation. That change order totaled $13,839.
Thank you.
Tonight, I recommend that we approve them.
You happy to entertain a motion?
I make a motion that we approve change order 3.04.
Motion by Kristen Brenton,
Second.
second by Aaron Stevens. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I will call the roll. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Jeff Slifer,
Aye.
Kristen Brenton,
Aye.
Aaron Stevens,
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz,
Aye.
Brad Walton. Aye. John Weber, aye. Motion passes 6-0. 3.05, Dr. Wright.
Board President, trustees, I ask that our Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Jennifer O'Brien, present action item 3.05, overnight field trips.
Thank you. The overnight field trip for this evening for your approval is for the Business Professionals of America. This will be for the state qualifiers to attend an overnight trip from March 13th, 2020 to March 15th at the Indianapolis Marriott downtown. At this time, I recommend the board approve the requested field trip as presented.
I move that we accept this field trip.
Thank you. And a motion by Nicole Stoltz,
I'll second.
second by Jeff Slifer. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I will call the roll. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Jeff Slifer,
Aye.
Brenton,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz,
Aye.
Brad Walton. John Weber, aye. Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to board policy and review and update. Policy 4.01, or item, excuse me, 4.01 policy 6545, acceptable use for students and staff.
I move that we
Which,
finally approve the policy.
yes, this was moved on second reading, this is second reading, so this is for approval. Motion by Jeff Slifer,
Second.
second by Kristen Brenton. Any questions or comments?
It actually kind of takes care of 402 and 403 as well. I mean, we're accepting this other policy in place of these other two.
That's correct.
Do you want that all in one motion, or do you want to take it differently?
Now let's just, we'll bundle the other two. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I will call the roll. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Jeff Slifer.
Aye.
Kristen Brenton.
Aye.
Aaron Stevens.
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz.
Aye.
Brad Walton. John Weber. Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Now on the 4.02 and 4.03, the deletion of policy 6543, student education technology acceptable use and safety, and deletion of policy 6544, staff education technology acceptable use and safety. I'd like to entertain a motion to bundle those two items into one and delete them.
So moved.
I'll motion that we bundle policy 6543 and 6544 and delete them off of our roster.
All right. Motion by Brad Walton,
I'll
second
second
by
that.
Nicole Stoltz. Any questions or comments? As previously stated, the policy we approved moments ago replaces these two policies. If there's any question, any additional comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, I'll call the roll. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Jeff Slifer.
Aye.
Kristen Brenton.
Aye.
Aaron Stevens.
Aye.
Nicole Stoltz.
Aye.
Brad Walton.
Aye.
John Weber. Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to item 5, public commentary. Mrs. Hazelbaker.
Mr. John Egan.
All right. Mrs. O'Brien, if you'd keep time at 5 minutes. Welcome to the podium, Mr. Egan.
I'm going to black him out here. Oh, he's already there.
Okay.
I'm John Egan. Thank you for hearing me out tonight. I've spoke with a number of the people here on the board, and Dr. Curtis Wright, although I haven't met him yet, I've talked on the phone. I was here in 2011, 2014. Wanted to present evidence at the time the board did not want to look at about personnel matters and what could be done to possibly mediate them. And now this issue has come back to visit us. Over the summers, I understand it spread across state lines, involved an incident with the coaching staff, was described as an altercation. And speaking with the coaching staff over in Northern Trails, and that was more of a generic expression rather than covering the intensity and the aggression levels. Given the fact that the community and the parents are fleeing the program, taking their children out of the football program, and the fact that I think we're 3-14 over the last 2 years, I was just wondering, how does this issue take a back seat, or at least a behind-the-scenes movement that's not apparent to the community? And I'm wondering if there's going to be any decision made on the coaching staff for either removal or replacement, and when can we look forward to that decision?
By reminding, we don't.
Yeah. Mr. Egan, in this format, we typically don't respond. We will follow up with you after the meeting, probably later this
Well,
week.
That would be fine. And you said next week?
Hopefully within a week we'll try to get you some sort of answer.
Well, I imagine there's some language being hammered out, and I'm just wondering if there's a position to be taken at all.
Again, we'll.
That's the question.
Yeah.
So again, we're not prepared to answer that question tonight?
That's not the process that's followed, Mr. Egan. I think you've been here enough to know that. The board,
No, I've only been here 3 times.
the
sir.
board uses this opportunity to receive public input and comment. If a matter is something that's fairly, I won't say simple or procedural, they can address or can be addressed by the administration, it will. Issues as to personnel typically are not handled in the public domain, but if you have questions as to the
Well,
status
it's been
of,
handled as public knowledge in the newspapers.
there's a difference between public knowledge and public domain, sir, and that is what the board has to keep in mind. So I think they will get back to you on your,
Public
any
record,
question.
public
Mr.
record
Egan,
is
if you let me
in the
finish,
public
please.
domain already, sir.
If you would let me finish, please.
Yes. Well, I
Ms.
was just trying to get that into the record. It's already part of the record.
Okay, well, if we've been talking over each other, so the quality of the record may not be very good, but we do have an audio tape of the meeting. The board will get back to you to the extent of the questions that they understand that you've asked as they relate to the status of the athletic program, and I think that's all they can do at this point.
And then my last comment, one that I would not really add too much weight to your decision-making, is the public opinion found on Facebook and the hundreds of entries along with the signature of some people in support. But by and large, the Facebook entries certainly don't cast Richmond Community Schools in an enviable position as far as the image and all the public relations and damage control that are going to be devoted to this issue. I mean, it's well beyond the point of diminishing return. So I'll just leave it at that and look forward to your decisions or getting back with me on any possible decisions that may be made. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 6, board reports and discussion. Had a few moments. We've McGuire update or anything. We're good.
What did you say?
I didn't know if we wanted a McGuire update or. I think that project is on track. So.
We can give them a real quick. The project is on track and it should start in about 2 weeks. So we're excited. We received our first request to utilize the facility next summer. So we're working through the details that they requested to know on that. So it's exciting.
Fantastic. I know there's been a lot of work gone into that project.
Do we want to put it out there yet?
I don't know, maybe.
All right, well, let's,
Do we want to put that out there? The idea that we
probably
talked
not
about?
today, but
Okay.
that's a good idea. So,
Yeah, what you guys are saying, so. I'll go with whatever you said.
Me too, and I'm right between them.
any additional board reports or discussion?
See, Dr. Wright's communication to us is so grand, we have no problems.
All right,
Thank you, Mr. Snyder.
very good.
I figured as much.
I'm already in my pocket.
Moving on to item 7, preview upcoming meeting and events. Dr. Wright.
Board President, trustees, our next meeting will indeed be Wednesday, November 10th. As far as events to look forward to, indeed, our varsity football team was successful in their sectional matchup versus Shelbyville High School. It was a hard-fought game in which the young men overcame adversity to hold on to and win out. And so as a result, they will be here this Friday at 7 p.m. there at Leibolt Field to take on our arch rival, Carnersville Spartan High School football team. And I apologize that I put a little more emphasis on Carnersville, but nevertheless, I know that in seeing the joy in the student athletes' eyes there on the field after the victory, as well as in the eyes of the parents in the stands, was something at that particular time to behold. And I know that the young men are excited about an opportunity to perform and play for their beloved city, our beloved city, and we definitely wish them the best. In addition, we also have, and I apologize, I will have to, I'm sorry, this week is National Drug Abuse Awareness Week, and so I know that within our classrooms across the district and across the country, students are learning about the importance of not pressing forward with such decisions. And so I know as a youngster I was a DARE role model myself, and used to cruise around with Officer Stevens and Officer Gordon, Officer Thalls and Officer French, and L.A. Gear, as we called Officer Laguerre, and a few others. And so it's great to know that such programming is still around to encourage students not to partake in such substances that we know have a detrimental effect.
You mean Officer Stevens is that old?
Officer Stevens is one whose service we have appreciated, and we appreciate that many more years of service, yes. I'm sure if that answers your question.
The flowers are going to be wilted, Jeff.
That's all I have with regard to upcoming meeting events.
All right. Item 8, adjournment and bell ringer.
Board President, trustees, for tonight's bell ringer, I would like to simply shift focus to Tippecanoe County School Corporation and the Indiana Teacher of the Year, Miss Sharita Ware. Mrs. Sharita Ware, for those that may or may not know, is a Richmond High School alum. She is a Richmond Community Schools alum, if you will. She also, like myself, went to C.R. Richardson. She's a road runner, but she is indeed and was announced just last night as the Indiana State Teacher of the Year. And this is a coveted honor for her to be awarded with. She's a 1989 Richmond High School graduate. Again, as I mentioned, C.R. Richardson alum. She was formerly a Purdue University engineer and chose to leave that profession to come into the teaching profession, which is, I believe, rather remarkable, knowing that she was set and could have stayed exactly where she was. But just as we have mentioned, and just as I have shared, she definitely embodies that resilient message of humility, self-service, humility, self-service, and resiliency. One of the things that she referenced when interviewed as to why she has committed so wholeheartedly toward the profession is that she stated that she recognizes that the purpose, as she says, is bigger than you or in her. And so as most educators and even parents, those that have been in teachable moments, when you realize that the purpose is indeed bigger than one, it helps you continue in your level of service. Her daughter made a great comment which spoke to humility, which was she and the family had to convince their mother that she was deserving of it because she was, as she even said, she was seeing others that could have been awarded such an accomplishment. So yes, I definitely plan to reach out to share with Mrs. Ware. Formerly, Sharita Hines was her maiden name, and Hines, the Hines family is still here in Richmond, and so I know that they are all extremely proud, as well as we all are here in Richmond, that we in Richmond Community Schools was able to produce an Indiana Teacher of the Year, along with so many other amazing people and individuals. So outside of that, I don't have anything else to share as a bell ringer, and thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members have anything? I would just add, we had two from the cross-country team that ran semi-state, Lizzie Graham and Kenna Barker. I think that was a week ago. And congratulations to those two young ladies for representing RHS. That's quite a feat to make it that far. So kudos to them. And I have nothing else. If we're all in favor, meeting adjourned.